Okay, hello everyone. Today I want to try at least to make a kind of big conclusion of what I said these last days. Actually, since the beginning, because I really come to a point where everything comes back to the same point and everything kinds of really makes sense in the same direction. So. It's always the same thing. I have to, in a way, to find peace in myself, more or less. Okay, why do I say that? I realized that I was tensed. I was tense. Okay, I feel tense. It's in my body, but first it's in my head. If it was not in my head, I wouldn't be tense in my body. So why am I tense in my head mentally? Because I come to realize that if you in order to be able to be tense, you have to have two parts. Because take a muscle, for example. If you want your muscle to be tense, you have to have it fastened in two parts of your body, else it cannot be tense. So if you don't have two points, you cannot be tense, else it's just one, and one you cannot like draw on it or something like that. So yeah, it's really something like that I felt in my mind, that actually there was two parts in a way fighting one against the other, and that's the beginning of the problem, and everything comes from there. Because first of all, obviously, in my mind I'm just one, as I already said. And it's really for this reason. There's no reason to fight in myself. And that's what's happening in a way every time in the background. I'm in a way fighting against myself because there's nobody else. So that's completely ridiculous, obviously. So I realized that, and I also realized that yes, I'm just one. So why do I feel like if there was two parts fighting one against the other? Well, because certainly in a way there is the part of myself who say, hey, this is the truth, here is the truth of the situation of myself, whatever it is, okay? And another part of myself who say, hey, no, it shouldn't be like that, I cannot accept that, it's too hard to accept something like that, and it's unfair, and many things like that. And then there is a tension, really. But what is this part that doesn't accept, that is against many things? First, it's I would say that to be against something that is just like that is it's nonsense. It's it's almost like it's raining and you're against it. It's not sense. Obviously, it's just raining, and you don't have any judgment on the fact that it's raining, so there's no problem about it. But when it is someone doing something that you think is unfair, for example, you are against, and you have a story that says, hey, this is unfair and I don't accept it. And then you feel tense inside. And then, problems arise from there. Your own tension comes from there. That's what I feel, actually. But if we can just imagine to say external things that I was not accepting up to now are like the rain. Let's take that like when it's raining. It's just like that, and I don't have any judgment about it. I cannot feel tense anymore, and then inside I feel much better. So in my body I feel better. So I'm more inclined to be happy. If I'm more happy, I look at what I want, and then I see also what I want, all the different things in my life that relate to what I want, what makes me happy, and everything changed. So yeah, first of all everything comes from what is in my head, and what, this difference between what it is and what I accept and what I don't accept. Why that? Because I have a story, obviously. If I say it's already a long time I've thought of that. If I could just see things like it's raining And that's like that, and I don't have any story about it, any judgment at all. A lot of things would be much easier to live, much better, it's just like that. And okay, I just do the best. If it's raining, I wanted to go outside, okay, I'll take another coat, maybe I'll change my plan because there's something I can do about that. And I won't be unhappy during all the day thinking, I shouldn't be raining and so on. No, it's just raining and I just make do with that, and that's fine. And if for everything else it was like that, life would be much, much easier. So what is difficult in trying just to see things like, okay, they are like that and I don't want to fight against them, it's like that, and just take the best of life and just don't focus on that. What is difficult is because I have a story. And what is this story? It's always a story, and I come back to a previous video when I was speaking of external value that I put in my life on external situations, external persons. You know, when we were young, we've always been told, okay, you should do that, that is very good, that is not good, and blah blah and blah blah, and we made a lot of value and experiments, and we find that we should be there, we shouldn't be there, we should do that, that is good, that is not good, and so on. So we have a lot of values, and from these values we say that is unfair, that is fair, I want that, I don't want that, I accept that, I don't accept that. All comes from the external values we put on the external world. And then again, I come back on a previous video and I say, what is the solution? The solution is that the only value, the greatest value I should have at any time in my life is myself. Always, every time. And it's not what I've been taught, and it's not what we're taught. I know nobody that has been taught, okay, the greatest value in your world, it's you and only you. Okay, and that's the problem, I think. Because yes, if I put any value before me, then I became tense in my head, because there's a value that says that is external to me, that I don't have control over. And then I say I should, okay, be okay with this value, be in agreement with this value, and I don't have control, so sometimes I won't be. And then there's the reality that says, hey, here's the reality in my mind, and there is the other part that says, hey, here's the value I must be, and I can't accept not to be, depending on this value, what it is. I can be outside of this value, and then I'm tense, and then it's already nonsense, because there are two parts in myself. It's nonsense. Okay, there's just one part. The external things is like that, and if I'm not in agreement with that, that's a fact. It's raining. I wanted it to be sunny today, it's raining. That's a fact. I'm myself, and that's just one part in myself. So no external value higher than myself in my world, and else I can't make do with that. I can manage, and I can take the best of what is happening right now, and I can't use my power. So yeah, here is the thing, really the big thing. I think I've been clear. It's really a matter of putting values, and the only value is myself. External things, a lot of things, I have to admit, it's not easy personally, I think, because I put a lot of values on different things, external things, and I think that is fair and that is not fair. I can't accept that, it's not normal, and it's incorrect, and blah 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 blah. And that's true. The world is not necessarily fair, it's not great for everything, there's a lot of problems, and yeah, that's true, that's fact. And it's raining when I want to go outside and see the sun, and it's not necessarily fair also, but that's from there that I start each time, and from there, whatever the situation is, I can do great things. That is also truth that I'm more and more convinced. And if I accept that many things, external things, are not fair at all, and I'm not necessarily fair in my life for others also, but I have full power if I accept to be just myself, and to be just myself. It's not minimizing me, it's quite the opposite. I have a big power if I want just to come back on myself, accept whatever there is on the external world, and then, well, use my power, be myself, express myself, experiment, try. If the result is not in agreement with what I wanted, it's just an experiment. I just have to draw the conclusion and then make another experiment. Try again, differently. There's no reason to be tense for something that is not like I would like to be. It's the whole world is working like that, and I'm going to live like that until the end of my day. Experiments after experiments. Things don't work the way I wanted it to work at first. I make another experiment, another try. That's just a test, and here is the real pleasure, the real happiness, because I know I can try again and again. It's not fair, yeah, I'm not fair either. I just try. I try my best, and it's not hard. It's just like that. It's just like that, and I accept it, and I take pleasure to try and to test. You like in whatever you do when you're trying to, I don't know, to just playing anything at all and learning to ride a bicycle, for example. Well, at first you don't succeed, but it doesn't mean that it's not fun. You're trying again and again, and it's fun because you enjoy that. You want to reach your goal, and and you're going to make it. It's not a problem. So the problem, I think, is not in being successful or not. Eventually, if you continue to try, you'll be successful. It's sure. But maybe, yeah, you have to try again and maybe differently. You make experiment, and that's fine, and that's perfect, because you have a big power in order to reach any goal. I'm really convinced about that. So yeah, trying to change our mindset in this regard. Myself is the greatest value, and anything external is not necessarily fair, but it's like that, and I'm not necessarily fair either. But I can do many things, many great things from that. So just enjoy what you're doing, because you have full power, so many things to do. Once you accept things like they are, you are not tense anymore, and you can then focus on what you want. And I really come back to finish on one of the last thing I said. It is, the more I focus on things that get me enthusiastic, the more I feel enthusiastic, and my body is, I feel better in my body, and I feel better in my life, and I'm more inclined to see and to observe all the things that relates to what I want, and I'm more and more moving in the direction I want, and it's better and better. So focusing on what makes you enthusiastic is really a good thing. Just to think about it a few seconds more. When you observe just a feeling of, hey, great, just observe that for a few seconds more, and it amplifies the signal in your brain to what you want to observe in your life. And your brain will, I don't know how, but will manage to pick the right thing in your life. Okay, so yeah, I really hope it will help to see things like that. I really feel that it helps a lot, and every conclusion I make come back to all this conclusion in the end. So that's my point for today, a big point, and I'll continue to develop my own life, and I will tell you how it's happening. But it's really good, and just the fact of making a point each and every day obliged me to come back to what I think, what I realize, what I observe, and not coming back to my negative thoughts and kind of forgetting what I've just said. Hey, here is the problem, here is the truth, and then coming back to my negative thoughts. But doing that day after day has been really a good thing in order to improve, to observe more and more clearly what is the truth, what works, what doesn't work. So just in about 1.5 months, or 2 months maybe, not even, things changed a lot, and I will continue to make my, tell you how it happens and what I think of all that. So great video for today. I hope you'll have a lot of things to say about it, and yeah, share your experience as always. I really think it's very interesting what I said today, so don't hesitate to give me your opinion, your advice. Also, don't hesitate, it's always good to hear, and I'll talk to you soon. I see you later.